All right, the court is calling 2024 CR 5.
Right from the jump, you can feel it. This isn't just a routine docket. When the charges include murder and aggravated robbery, lives aren't just on the line. They're about to be rewritten in real time.
219 and 2024 CR 5218, State versus Renee Camarillo. Can I have parties announced?
Jason Garaham for the state, Your Honor.
Marissa Giovanco for Mr. Camarillo.
And are you Mr. Camarillo?
No.
Counsel, in each of the cause numbers, have you received all discovery and did you review it with your client?
I believe I have, and I did.
In each of the cause numbers, the court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. In each of the cause numbers, Mr. Camarillo, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, in each of the cause numbers, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Judge.
State, and the cause number ending in 19, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
And Judge, I believe that's the felony murder.
It's the aggravated robbery.
Okay, yes, Your Honor. We're proceeding on count 1 and count 2
Okay.
in that indictment.
And then in the cause number ending 218, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor. We're proceeding with count 1, the murder charge, and waiving count 2 and count 3.
Any objections?
No, Judge.
In each of the cause numbers, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
In the cause number ending in 19, you're charged with the offense of aggravated robbery in counts 1 and in count 2. In cause number ending in 18, you're charged with murder. In each of the cause numbers, the range of punishment for each of those offenses.
Okay, time to pause. This isn't your average plea deal. These charges carry anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life ***. That range isn't wide. It's a canyon. The stakes. Literally decades.
Is anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
In each of the cause numbers, you have a right to a jury trial. You have a right to remain silent. You have a right to have your attorney confront any witnesses that the state would call to testify against you. Do you understand?
Quick audience check. Would you ever give up your right to a trial? Knowing the evidence could be debated? Let me know in the comments because that's exactly what this defendant is doing right now.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so do you understand by entering this plea, you're giving up your right to a trial?
Yes.
Do you understand by entering this plea, you're giving up your right to remain silent? So,
Yes.
for example, if you were to go to a jury trial, the state could not call you to testify. Do you understand?
Yes.
Right, because you're entering into a plea, you can be called as a witness because you're giving up your right to not be called or your right to remain silent. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. And do you understand you're also giving up your right to have the state call witnesses to seek to prove that you're guilty beyond a reasonable doubt? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
And so in doing that, you're giving up your right to have yourself or your attorney question any witnesses that the state would call. Do you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I believe he does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I believe so, yes.
Mr. Camarillo, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, in each of the cause numbers, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. In each of the cause numbers, did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney?
Yes.
Did you understand it?
Yes.
All right, in the cause number ending in 19, according to your plea, the state is proceeding on counts 1 and 2. They're asking that your punishment be assessed at 20 years in the prison. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. There are no applications. This case will run concurrently with 2024 CR 5218, and they are taking in consideration 2025 CC 005805. And the cause number ending in 19. The state is proceeding on count 1. They're asking that your punishment be assessed at 20 years in the prison. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. There are no applications.
Here's the catch. Affirmative finding of a deadly weapon isn't just a legal footnote. It means no parole for at least 10 years. It's a fast lane to a locked timeline. You can't charm your way out of this one.
And this will run concurrent with 2024 CR 5219. Thank you. And they're taking in consideration 2025 CC 005805. Did you understand that to be the plea? So according to your plea bargain agreement, in each of these cause numbers, the state is requesting that you serve 20 years in the prison. Do you understand? And do you understand with the 20-year sentence and an affirmative finding of deadly weapon, you're not eligible for parole until 10 years are served flat, which means 10 years day for day. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that to be the entirety of your plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense,
Yes, Judge.
state.
It is, Your Honor.
All right. Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are pretrial motions that your attorney has filed and that we've had hearings on, and I've made a ruling on those motions. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Judge.
Then in each cause number, the court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial, and that the defendant understands the nature of the plea bargain agreement, and the defendant understands the exact plea bargain that has been reached with the state. Is there anything that you do not understand that I've spoken to you about so far? All right. Then in 2024 CR 5218 to count 1 murder, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? And then in 2024 CR 5219 to count 1 of aggravated robbery, how do you plead? And to count 2 of aggravated robbery, how do you plead? State any evidence to support the defendant's plea.
Yes, Your Honor. In each of the indictments, State Exhibit Number 1 with all of its attachments.
Judge, I have gone over those with my client and we have no objections.
All right. Mr. Camarillo, in each of the cause numbers, did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? So what stipulations are you're agreeing that what in the documents, you're saying that's what happened. Do you understand? All right. So again, you can have a jury trial. At the jury trial, the state would present witnesses. Your attorney would have a chance to cross-examine those witnesses. Do you understand? With these stipulations that you're agreeing to, the state is not going to call any witnesses. Do you understand?
Yes.
So the court will be making a ruling on whether or not the state has produced enough evidence to find you guilty of each of these counts beyond a reasonable doubt by reviewing what the state has presented in the waivers and stipulations. Do you understand? In each of the cause numbers, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. Off the record, while I'm reviewing this, if you all want to talk with Ms. Ferguson about the date when you all want to come back.
Yes, Judge.
All right. After reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments in each of the cause number, the court will find that there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty in each count. All right. With regard to sentencing,
Yes, Judge. Just a little snafu in that. Next week, I know that Zoom may not be available.
no, it will not. Let me ask you, do y'all think they'll be able to Zoom sometime in this week or no?
I checked into that, Judge, and they're not available Thursday, Friday. And so I mean,
Are they available tomorrow?
I can check on that. I mean, if you give me a moment, I can
Yes.
call. Otherwise, it'd be, I think, June 30th because I know that defense counsel's in trial the following week. But if you give me a second, I can call.
Okay. All right, just have a seat. We're going to see when we can do send. All right, the court is calling 2024 CR 5218 and 2024 CR 5219, State versus Renee Camarillo. Can I have parties announced?
Jason Gary Hampton State.
Marissa Chiavenko from.
And are you Mr. Camarillo? All right, you entered pleas in each of these cases on June 10th, 2025. Are both parties ready to proceed with sentencing?
Now comes the real weight. 20 years in prison. That's not just sentencing, that's someone's 30s and 40s gone. Add in a deadly weapon finding. And parole isn't even a word till 2035. Let that sink in.
Yes.
All right. And 2024 CR 5219, you entered a plea of no contest to count 1 and count 2. The court found that there was evidence to find you guilty of count 1 and count 2. The court found you guilty of count 1 and count 2. According to your plea bargain agreement, counts 1 and counts 2 will run concurrently, and you will be sentenced to 20 years in the prison. Give you credit for any time served. This is the run concurrent with 2024 CR 5218. Take in consideration 2025 CC 005805. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing and that cause number?
Sentencing of fraud.
And just one moment. Also, there is to be no contact with the following persons: Sarah, SAARAHAMIN is the last name. Tariq, TAREK, last name RAMADAN. All right, and that cause number, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification? I'm sorry, one other thing. With regards to sentencing, there's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon in count 1 and an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon in count 2. In that cause number, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? Do you have any type of drug issues? Okay. And then in cause number 2024 CR 5218, you entered a plea of no contest to count 1, murder. The court found that there was sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court found you guilty. The court will sentence you to 20 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. This is run concurrent with 2024 CR 5219, and taking consideration 2025 CC 005805, and there's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it? And
This is one of those rare courtroom moments where the judge stops being a judge and starts being human. This doesn't have to be your end. A plea for redemption. But make no mistake, it comes at a steep, irreversible cost.
did you sign it? You need to speak up. All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. How old are you? All right, you're 18. Any time that somebody serves is a lot of time. Many things can happen at the prison. Do not become institutionalized at the prison. You need to realize that you're where you are now because of your actions. I understand with the murder case, the way it's charged, which is legally a way it can be charged, because you were evading You actually didn't hit the person in the crosswalk. The police actually hit that person chasing you, right? And so when you're sitting at the prison, you're probably going to start thinking, I shouldn't be here. Other people are going to start talking to you saying, you should have done this and that. But what I can tell you, that's the law, right? So at the prison, you can still get your education. At the prison, you can get some kind of trade so that when you're released from prison, you have some ability to get work. And it's going to be hard for you to find employment because you've been to prison. That's why you need to learn a trade at the prison. I don't know if they still do welding at the prison or not. I had one client who went to prison. He ended up becoming a welder. And there was such a high demand for welders. Even though he had been to prison, when he was released, he ended up making more money than I made as an attorney. All right, so there's something you can do with your life, but you need to start thinking about the people you hang around with and how you find yourself to be in the situation that you're in. You understand? So there are two people who are going to be speaking to you, and this is called a victim impact. So they're going to tell you probably how this has impacted their life. I want you to listen and internalize what they're saying, okay? All right, Watson and Simmons.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, you can show your video if you want to show your video, but you don't have to show your video. Are you able to see Mr. Camarillo?
Yes.
All right, if you want to show your video, you can. If you do not, you don't have to. And you can begin whenever you're ready to begin.